Hi, everybody. Welcome to English Digest. Thank you for joining us, and my name is Tom.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
And today we're going to be talking about the environment. And, of course, there are lots of things we can talk about concerning the environment. And maybe you want to talk about soap today in case you just had a shower or took a bath because you wanted to be clean for today's lesson. But did you ever wonder where that soap comes from? And if you're in a hotel, what happens to the soap that you don't use?
Well, I'm one of those weird hotel people who, after I stay somewhere, I hate to leave all those free things on the shelf in the bathroom, so I pretty much take everything home. Even though I don't even use the shower cap in my real life, I just take everything home. I figure I paid for it, and I don't want them to throw it away, so I just put all those little tiny bottles and or bars of soap. I was actually recording the other day, and they had cake of soap. But we actually use bar of soap as the measure word. A bar of soap, not a cake of soap.
I've heard a cake of soap before, but a bar of soap is far more common. You'll get away with that more often. But yes, indeed, hotels do provide these things for you. One-use toothbrushes and a little bit of toothpaste.
A comb.
That always comes in handy. I don't use that stuff myself. I always bring my own stuff. And nowadays, the hotels seem to be providing those dispensers in the bathrooms where you can just push a button and you get soap that way, so you don't have to use a bar of soap. And I think they have the same thing at the sink as well. So that's getting to be less and less of a problem, but still, we have all these bars of soap that people throw away or they don't use. They wash up, take a shower, and then they just leave the leftover soap on the shelf there. And what happens to it? Well, we're going to tell you what happens to it today. And we're also going to talk about this one person who's trying to make a difference by collecting all that unused soap and trying to give it to people who need it. So let's find out what this is all about. Let's read the entire contents of our lesson right now. Most hotels provide toiletries as a courtesy. In fact, soap is the most commonly used amenity among hotel guests. However, they often leave behind partially used bars of soap. These are thrown away, generating lots of environmental trash. In 2008, Sean Seipler, who often stayed in hotels during business trips, decided to do something about the wasted soap. He asked several local hotels for their leftover soap and started a workshop in a garage. He and some volunteers used kitchen tools to clean, crush, and melt the soap. The mixture was poured into casts, left to harden, and then cut up into new soap bars. Seipler was searching for a purpose for the new soap when he discovered that 9,000 children under 5 were dying of hygiene-related illnesses globally every day. Research showed regular hand washing could cause a 50% reduction in these deaths. Seipler started the Clean the World nonprofit foundation to distribute recycled soap to needy people. It's grown from a one-garage operation to 6 production facilities around the world. Now, professional machines filter out debris and complete every production step. Since 2009, Clean the World has sent 68 million bars of soap to 127 countries. Over 8,000 hotels, resorts, casinos, cruises, and airlines pay a small fee to take part in the program. They're provided with storage bins to donate their old soap. They also get environmental impact reports from Clean the World. This makes it easy for businesses to get rid of soap waste and helps them meet ecological goals. Although it's the biggest soap recycling company, Clean the World isn't the only one. EcoSoap has provided 113,400 kilograms of soap to 10 countries experiencing soap shortages. Diversey, a hotel hygiene product company, has recycled 25 million bars of soap since 2013. Thanks to these efforts, soap that would normally be thrown away helps save thousands of lives.
Okay, folks, let's get started. It's our environment unit, and the title of today's article is What Happens to Used Hotel Soap Bars? Well, mine was never used. I actually use my own stuff like Tom. But I tend to grab everything that's provided as a courtesy or an amenity, and I take it home.
My wife does that too. I find it very annoying because I think it's just wasteful to bring that stuff back. And
so you never use it.
It'll just sit on the shelf, so you might as well let it be there for the next customer.
But they don't give it to the next customer.
Unless they throw it all
They
out.
are required to take all of that stuff and throw it away, which is which is the shame. Okay, so that's why we're talking about this. Most hotels provide toiletries as a courtesy. What's a toiletry? Well, you can see the word toilet in there. It has something to do with the bathroom. But we use toiletries in the plural form to talk about things we use to wash our hands and take care of our bodies, like soap, shampoo, toothpaste. Those are all toiletries. And they're provided as a courtesy. When you provide something as a courtesy, just means you're being polite, right? Well, not exactly. We actually use it to talk about things that are supplied free of charge to people who are already paying for some other service. For example, if you stay at a hotel and you make a reservation and you fly into the airport, sometimes that airport transportation is provided to you as a courtesy of that hotel. So you just have to go call your hotel and they'll tell you where to go for that courtesy car or courtesy vehicle. Sometimes it's a bus, sometimes it's a big car.
Exactly. So, of course, these are commonly used amenities along with toothbrushes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And these are things that make your stay more pleasant if they're provided. However, they often leave behind partially used bars of soap. Indeed, they give you enough soap, but of course, it's usually more than enough, so you're not going to use the whole thing, and you just leave it in the shower stall or next to the sink, and I guess you just assume that it's going to be thrown away, and you're probably not too concerned about that because we throw things away every day. But some people are concerned about these sorts of things. And here we've got the word partially. Partial as an adjective just means it's only part of something. It's not 100%. Maybe it's only been 30% used or 20% used, just partially used. And of course, we're modifying the verb there, so it becomes an adverb. Partially used bars of soap. And these are thrown away, generating lots of environmental trash. A lot of people probably think that soap is maybe biodegradable or something like that, so maybe it's not such a big deal, but I guess this Sean Seipler had a different opinion on that.
Yeah, he had a pretty good idea. So back in 2008, Sean Seipler, this guy, he often stayed in hotels during business trips. So he was used to seeing all of these, toiletries in his hotels, and he decided to do something about the wasted soap. And he asked several local hotels for their leftover soap. Leftover just means something that's not used completely. You can use it as an adjective like leftover soap, leftover fabric if you're sewing something, leftover construction materials if you're building a building. But you can also use leftover as a noun, but we always put an S on it. Leftovers. So if your mom cooks dinner and there's leftovers from the dinner, you didn't eat everything, you can put it into the refrigerator and eat it the next day. Well, he started asking these local hotels just to give him their leftover soap. They were going to throw it away anyway. And he started what we were calling a workshop in his garage. So if you have a garage, it's an extra space that's attached to your house. And usually we park our cars in there. But oftentimes, the men will have a workshop in the garage. They'll have a place where they can cut wood and maybe work on their engine in the car, stuff like that. Well, he set up a workshop in his garage.
Right. Of course, here in Taiwan, a garage would be a luxury for most people, especially for people who live in crowded cities. But in the United States, and I suppose in Australia and other countries, a garage is quite common. Usually it's used to park your car so that it doesn't get snowed on or rained on, etc., etc. And as Stephanie said, some people set up workshops in their garage, and that's what Mr. Seipler did. He and some volunteers used kitchen tools to clean, crush, and melt the soap. So kitchen tools would be like a spatula, a knife, things like that. And he used those tools to clean the soap. You got to clean it off because people have used it. Maybe they have skin diseases or something like that. So you need to clean off the soap. And then you crush it into smaller portions. And then you melt the soap by adding heat to it.
So if you're going to crush something, you're going to take it and press it until it's just into many, many small pieces. If you're going to cook, you might have to crush some garlic. So you'll take that little clove of garlic, take off the outside paper portion, and then smash it. So you can smash it, crush it. What you're doing is you're just pressing something with a lot of force so that it's usually turned into lots of little tiny pieces. Or if you're crushing something like a car, you crush it until it's in pieces and it's damaged badly. So here we're crushing and melting the soap both. Soap, if it's in a liquid form, you can't do this. But if you have the kind of soap that they just give you in hotels, it's in it's in a different form. It's not liquid, it's a solid. If you melt it and then let it dry, it turns into a different form based on whatever container it's in.
Exactly. So it will become a solid again. I did want to mention the word crush here, of course, is a verb, but it can also be part of a slang term. It means you're kind of sweet on somebody. You have a crush on somebody. You like somebody like, hey, Dave's got a crush on Lisa. Maybe he's going to ask her out for a date or something like that.
Or, Tom, if you're into sports and your team is playing your rival team, you could say, we're going to crush them, which means you're going to beat them badly.
You're going to defeat them, you're going to beat them, you're going to teach them a lesson, etc. And then the mixture was poured into casts. They were left to harden and then cut up into new soap bars. This, of course, happens in factories with molten steel. They melt the iron and the steel mixture there or whatever, and they pour it into molds or casts. They're similar. They're just containers that you pour liquid into, and then when the liquid cools, it takes the shape of that mold or of that cast, and then of course the soap will harden, and then that's a big piece of soap there. So then they take that piece of soap, which is, I suppose, maybe 1 foot by 1 foot in size or something that's too big for people to use. So they cut it up into smaller pieces. They cut it up into new soap bars so people can use it to take a bath or take a shower. Okay, that brings us to the midway point in today's lesson. Let's take a time out now and listen to our Chinese teacher.
Hello everyone, 我是派老师。今天讲解的是12月12号 Unit5 What happens to used hotel soap bars？ 这个单元是文艺选填的练习题，内容跟香皂有关。大家住饭店的时候，会不会使用饭店提供的香皂呢？如果用过之后，这些香皂直接丢弃，相当可惜。原来有人相当聪明，把这些用过的香皂汇集起来，重新制作，再提供给物资缺乏的国家，解决当地民众的卫生问题。好，那我们在主题解说前，老师要提醒大家，在做文艺选填的时候，要先看看选项哦，然后把选项的词性呢标出来。当然，有些字它的词性不止一种。可是我们根据句子结构可以判断这个空格到底应该填什么词性进去，之后我们再根据文意来找正确选项，这样子答题会比较有效率哦。好，那我们现在就一起来解题，请看第一题。这里说，然而 however 开始，房客经常空格使用过的香皂，从词性判断主词 they 代替前面的Hotel guests 饭店房客，而后面的 partially used bars of soap 则是受词。句子没有动词，我们从10个选项里面去找，再用文意筛选。第一题正确答案是 D leave behind， 意思就是房客经常留下使用过的肥皂。再来，请同学看到第二题，前一句2008年经常出差入住饭店的 Sean Seipler， 他决定对废弃的香皂呢有所作为。接着我们看题干，他向几家当地饭店要了他们怎么样的香皂，并在车库里设立了一间工作室。请同学注意哦，这里的 asked for 就是索取的意思，后面必须用名词当受词。这里的受词就是香皂，而前面只能再放形容词修饰香皂。 那我们再用前后文文意筛选。第二题正确答案是 H leftover 剩余的，意思就是他跟几家当地饭店要了剩余的香皂。再来，请看第三题。The mixture was poured into casks, left to 怎么样？好，这些融化以后的香皂混合以后，也就是 the mixture of melted soap， 接着倒入模具，放着空格，再切割成一块块新的香皂。从词性判断，在不定词之后需要原形动词，再用前后文文意做筛选。第三题答案选 G harden， 表示融化以后的香皂混合以后倒入模具里，放着变硬，然后再切割成一块块新香皂。
We're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back, guys. It's our environment unit. We're talking about what happens to those used hotel soap bars that are given to us as you check into a hotel. They give you soap and shampoo and conditioner and sometimes a razor if you want to shave. Maybe sometimes you're even given a needle and some thread if you need to sew on a loose button. Those are all considered toiletries that are given to those who stay in hotels. So this really enterprising young man, Sean Seipler, he decided, hey, we need to do something with all that wasted soap that comes in those bars of soap. So he got together with some friends. He started a workshop in a garage.
Okay, so you got lots of new soap there. It's basically recycled soap. And Seipler was searching for a purpose for the new soap when he discovered that 9,000 children under 5 were dying of hygiene-related illnesses globally every day. So he thought, okay, I don't want to waste this soap, and I've recycled it into these pieces of soap, but what the heck am I going to do with all this soap? I can't possibly use it in my own lifetime or lend it to give it to friends or whatever. So when he was trying to find a purpose for the new soap, he's trying to figure out what to do with that soap, he found out some information. He discovered that there are lots of children under the age of 5 all over the world who were dying of hygiene-related illnesses, and that was happening every day. Hygiene just refers to being clean and killing germs and bacteria and stuff like that, because if you have bacteria and germs and you don't clean it away, you can get sick. And of course, lots of kids who live in third world countries or developing countries, yeah, they're not clean because of that, and they needlessly die all the time.
So he did some good research and he realized, hey, here's a need that I can fill. We can get this soap to some of these kids, these families who are having problems because they don't have soap to clean off, all that bacteria and dirt that we all come into contact with every day, especially kids. They're always, putting their hands and mouths on stuff that's not clean. We know that. So the research showed that if you regularly washed your hands, you could cause or you could reduce deaths in these areas of the world by 50%, which is a huge number, really. So if you're talking about how you can help, well, you might want to look into some of these nonprofit organizations. A nonprofit organization, or NGO, we often will call them that too, a non-governmental organization. They are set up to help some needy or helpless folks around the world. And their goal isn't just to become rich as an organization or business. Their number one goal or aim is to help people who are in need. Now, you have to do very good research on some of these nonprofit organizations because some of them don't really help the needy at all. They just pocket the money, so be careful.
Indeed. I think he's not pocketing the money here. Of course, he does want to help these people out. At least it looks like he is. And he wants to distribute the recycled soap to needy people. If you distribute something, you just spread it around. You get it from the factory out to the customers or the distribution center. centers. That's sometimes referred to as logistics, where you're basically, sending things out that need to be sent out, packages or products and stuff like that. And it's grown from a one garage operation to 6 production facilities around the world.
Wow.
So from 2, it started off as a one garage operation and became a larger operation with 6 factories or production facilities in different parts of the world. Now, professional machines filter out debris and complete every production step. So first, of course, he did all this stuff by hand, crushing it and melting it and pouring it into a cast. But now he's got machines to do that, and the machines filter out debris. To filter or to filter out just means to let the good stuff through and not let the bad stuff come through. So you might have a filter on your water supply. Filter can be both a noun and a verb. Here it's a verb with the preposition out, to filter out waste products like debris. Debris is just junk that's not supposed to be there. There might be a lot of debris after a car accident, just all pieces of metal and plastic on the ground.
Now, these are professional machines, meaning they are able to do something at a very high standard. These aren't machines that people just build in their garage. These are machines that are produced by people who know what they're doing. And so, yeah, they filter out the debris. We don't pronounce the S because it's a French word, guys. So that's why that word is kind of weird, debris, and complete every production step. So since 2009, that was just a year after he set up his organization, Clean the World has sent 68 million bars of soap to 127 countries. So over 8,000 hotels, resorts, casinos, cruises, and airlines pay a small fee to take part in the programs. They kind of brag about it. Hey, we're taking part in Clean the World, and we hope you'll donate. So here we've got hotels. We know what they are. A resort is a fancy place to go on a vacation and stay because usually everything that you need to relax and enjoy your time is provided there. A resort might have a golf course. They might have a tennis court. They might have a spa. So resorts are usually more they have lots of facilities there where you can just stay in the resort your whole time. You wouldn't even have to leave, and you'd still have a great vacation.
That's the idea, to have your vacation right there in the resort with all those facilities provided.
Yeah.
And, of course, casinos are places where you gamble, like in Auman, Macau.
Right.
And on cruises or cruise ships, of course, they are participating as well. And airlines. Yes, airlines do provide soap for passengers, I guess. And, of course, they have leftover soap there. So all of these different industries pay a small fee to participate, to take part in this particular program. And they're provided with storage bins to donate their old soap. So, yes, indeed, the hotel might think, where are we going to put all this soap? We go through all the rooms. We have our cleaning people take the used soap. What are they supposed to do with it? Well, this particular organization, Clean the World, does provide containers or storage bins for these resorts and hotels and stuff to put the soap in and donate the soap. And I guess somebody comes around and collects those storage bins later.
So that's a pretty good plan they have. So they also get environmental impact reports from Clean the World, and this makes it easy for businesses to get rid of their soap waste and helps them meet ecological goals. So if you get rid of something, you toss it, you throw it out. I've been trying to go through my apartment and get rid of extra clothes and books the past couple of months. I have too much stuff in my apartment. We all get like that sometimes. If you want to get rid of bugs, you'll use some sort of bug spray in your hotel or your apartment or your home. So those are different ways to get rid of things. Now, moving on to the final paragraph, it says, although it's the biggest soap recycling company, Clean the World isn't the only one. Here's another organization, Eco Soap, and it's provided 113,400 kilograms of soap to 10 countries experiencing soap shortages. Say those two words together fast. Soap shortages. It's hard. Yeah.
But in any case, that's one company that is participating, Eco Soap. We've also got Diversey. That's a hotel hygiene product company. They make soap and shampoo and stuff to be used in hotels. And this particular company has recycled 25 million bars of soap.
Wow.
For almost 10 years. They started way back in 2013. And thanks to these efforts, soap that would normally be thrown away helps save thousands of lives. Good for them, and I think it can also serve as a reminder to us to keep on washing our hands. Even though the pandemic is kind of calming down now, still germs spread through our hands, and we do need to maintain the habit of washing our hands on a regular basis, and that includes when you stay in hotels. Okay, that brings us to the end of our discussion for today. Let's listen now to our Chinese teacher.
接着第4题 Sepler was searching for 这边题干的主要动词 was searching for 找寻，后面需要有单数名词做受词。选项当中符合前后文语义的只有 purpose 目的用途，表示 Sepler 一直在寻找新制香皂的用途。刚好发现全球每天有9000名左右5岁以下儿童因为卫生相关疾病而死亡。接着是第5题，这边的中文意思是研究显示经常洗手可以让死亡案例空格 50%。 空格前面有不定冠词填入的选项必须是单数名词。我们再用前后文意筛选，第5题选 A reduction 减少降低，表示规律洗手可以使死亡案例减少 50%。 再接着看到第6题，第6题我们看这个句子 It's grown from a one garage 这边，好，这个 it 所代替的是前面 Sepler 所创立的非营利基金会 Clean the World。 那也就是说基金会的营运从车库扩张到全球6间生产空格。那空格后面呢必须要是名词才能够加在介系词 to 之后。那再用文意筛选 production facilities 工厂，因此第6题我们就选 C facilities。 再来请看到第7题，第7题我们先用词性做筛选，空格前是对等连接词 and， 前后词性对等，前面是 filter out debris， 过滤筛选它所组成的动词片语，所以 and 后面也必须要加上动词片语，而且后面可以搭配每个生产步骤来当作受词。所以第7题答案选 I complete， 意思是说基金会早期在车库作业，后来扩增到全球有6间厂房，而且用机器取代人工。接着请看第8题，有8000多间饭店、度假胜地、赌场、邮轮以及航空公司支付少量费用空格这项计划 Pay a small fee to， 其中的 to 是不定词，表示目的，后面要加原形动词。所以第8题答案选 B Taken part in， 参与的意思。再来请看第9题，第9题这使企业可以轻松摆脱香皂浪费，并帮助他们实现空格目标。在名词 goals 目标之前需要形容词。第9题答案选 J ecological。 最后第10题，这10个国家也都遭遇到香皂空格。好，我们看 experience 是及物动词，需要名词当受词，所以第10题选 F shortages 短缺缺乏的意思。好，以上就是我们针对文意选填所做的解题讲解，谢谢大家。
That's it, guys. Thanks for joining us. And if you happen to see a used hotel soap bar, maybe you can check in with that hotel and see if they're a part or a member of Clean the World or some of these other nonprofit groups. That's all for today. We hope you'll join us again. For English Digest, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Tom. Goodbye.
Bye.